The storm, very hefty, lots of rain and lightning. Let's go ahead and see what's happening and where this is going. This is south of Shiloh, heading toward Huckaville, Beta, Falco, and Wing. It's just past you guys. And this is where we'll put this into motion now and show you it's heading mainly toward the north and toward the east at about, let's see what the National Weather Service is saying. They're saying circulation is just east of Highway 135 and moving east toward Highway 55 in southern portions of Covington County. Now, this is a radar indicated tornado warning, so that means it's not been noticed on the ground. They're not seeing it just yet, but this is radar indicated. Let's go ahead and see. We'll put on our storm relative velocity, and you can see just broad area of rotation. That's currently where they're watching out for this. This is just south of Shiloh, and I want to put a storm track on this. We'll see how fast this storm is moving. They're saying it's moving relatively slow east at 20 miles per hour. So let's go and put a storm track on this for you. Show you the center of the circulation going about 20 miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at right now, heading toward Highway 55 here, south of Opp and Andalusia. Now, if you're in Opp, if you're in Andalusia, and your tornado sirens are currently going off, just know that this broad area of rotation for this tornado warned storm is south of you guys. But if you have friends or family in and around Beta, southern portions of Covington County, along Highway 137 to Highway 55, just know this is where this is currently heading. It could make its way to the southern half of Opp. Say you have an Opp address and south of the city there, that's where we could see this rotation end up. But just know that this tornado warned storm continues for the next several minutes it goes until 4:45. So just 15 minutes before the top of the 5 o'clock hour here. So if you're wondering what's going on, you're joining us here, you know we've issued a first alert weather day today. We've had several severe thunderstorm warnings off and on today across WSFA 12 News Country. The main story with storms today have been the large hail. We've gotten a lot of pictures in to the newsroom of the hail that you've been sending us, that you've been seeing during the day today, and they have been damaging. This is the first area of rotation that we've seen within these storm cells that looked enough for the National Weather Service in Mobile to issue this tornado warned storm. So this is the first one that we're seeing today. And don't be shocked if we get more tornado warned storms later on this evening and into the overnight, because there's a cluster of showers and storms over in Mississippi, portions of Louisiana that'll make its way in our direction later on tonight. But this is the first warning that we've had today of a tornado type. It is radar indicated, so that means we don't have indication of it being on the ground, but we could see that change relatively quickly as we continue to get scans in here to into the Advanced Law Firm Storm Track Zone of the tornado warned storm that we're currently seeing. So let's kind of regroup and show you what's currently happening with the national radar. We have heavy showers and storms, some severe right now, subsevere, that's currently working its way across Greenville, Troy, Union Springs, Eufaula. We've seen some intense hail cores work their way through Phoenix City, over toward Columbus, Georgia, through Eufaula earlier, and most of that activity, or those stronger storms, are making their way toward the state of Georgia. I made note that we're watching showers and storms off toward our west, and you can see plentiful severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings over in Louisiana. That is what's going to march its way in our direction later on today. That is the reason why we have that first alert weather day active. So currently, here's what's happening. We are tracking one tornado warned storm that goes until 4:45. This was issued by the National Weather Service in Mobile for the southern half of Covington County. We cover Covington County, so we're going to give you the best coverage that we can with this tornado warned storm. So let's zoom back in on what we're currently seeing here. This is the area that we're most concerned about. We'll put on storm relative velocity. What is that? That just means we're looking at rotation within the storm cell, and it's very broad rotation right now. That's the reason why they went ahead and issued it, because it showed signs enough for it to produce the potential for tornado. So that's why the National Weather Service put this tornado warning out. And over the past several scans, not looking as impressive as it once was. Originally, it showed the reds and greens. That's the couplet we talk about, or the extreme rotation within the storm. Originally, they issued a severe thunderstorm warning for it, but it had enough signs of potential rotation within it that they went ahead and put that tornado warning out for this storm cell that they're currently watching. So let's see what the National Weather Service in Mobile is currently saying. They're saying that they're keeping with this warning in Covington County till 4:45. They say the tornado that was capable of producing the storm that was capable of producing the tornado was located 9 miles northwest of Laurel Hill, or 14 miles west of Florala. And again, it was moving east at 20 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put another storm track on this since it's not moving fairly fast. Even if there's not a tornado within the storm cell, you could see some damaging winds here as it continues working its way in an easterly direction, heading close to the Stedman community. That's a little bit north of Florala. And as we put this into motion again, you can see that easterly track of this. So it would track around the southern half of Covington County. And if they decide to hold on to it, it would switch Weather Service offices. So it would switch from the National Weather Service office in Mobile to Tallahassee. We'll have to see what Tallahassee will do with this, if they decide to extend this warning, or they'll just go ahead and let it expire. So if you live in the southern half of Covington County and your first alert weather app's going off for your tornado sirens, you hear them. If you're outside, you hear them or whatnot, just to make sure you go ahead and get to your safe spot. And we can talk about that. Let's just talk about some of our reminders on where to go real quickly. Because we may have to do this again later on today with an impending storm system that's off toward our west. So make sure you go to an interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and protect your head because that's the most vulnerable part of your body. If you have a helmet, it would be a great idea to go ahead and put that over your head and get into that interior, like a bathroom, the center closet in your home. Just put the many walls between you as possible and the outside. So that's your best line of defense when it comes to tornado warned storms. So let's go and see what's happening with other storm cells. Let's see, someone was asking if they're going to extend this into Geneva County. That's something we'll have to watch over the next several minutes, but you can see where they're kind of seeing some of this rotation currently. Let's zoom in way too far in here. So we'll zoom out a little bit for you. We'll just start home again and we'll go back. So that's currently what we're watching here as we watch these showers and thunderstorms work their way across the region. Again, we are seeing intense lightning with some of these storm cells in around Greenville, north of Troy. Lots of lightning within these storm cells currently working their way across Butler, northern Crenshaw counties over toward Pike and Bullock counties south of Union Springs. And you can see the intense storm cells that we're currently watching work their way across the region. But we do have that one tornado warned storm, and that's the reason why we're on WSFA 12 News right now. Intense lightning within this storm cell. You could see several hundred lightning strikes currently between Highway 137 and making its way toward Highway 55. And we're getting a little bit of a better view of this storm cell. Let's go ahead and you can see a little bit more clearly here the area of rotation that they're most concerned about. I'll circle it for you. Just north of Union Church here, heading toward Old Farm Road and Glen Chambers Road. Huckaville is just on the cusp of this warning, only moving about 20 miles per hour. So that's currently where we're at. Let's put another storm track on this, see if we can't get some more communities in this storm threat. Huckaville about 442. Since it's not moving all that fast. So we'll have to see how long they decide to keep this warning since it does expire at 4:45. So currently that's where we're at. We have that one tornado warning that is in southern portions of Covington County that was issued by the National Weather Service in Mobile, moving through almost north of the Florida border there. So that's currently what we're watching out for with this storm cell. A lot of intense rain within the storm cell too. That's indicated by the oranges and the purples here behind me on first alert Doppler radar. And it's not moving all that fast, so it could cause some flash flooding within some of these storm cells. So remember, turn around, don't drown if you notice any water over roadways. So let's just regroup now and show you exactly what's going on. We'll clear some of this off here and we'll go back to the wide view so you can see exactly what's happening in your neighborhood, because a lot of locations may be like, rain, what rain? It's not currently doing anything. We talked about this yesterday on WSFA 12 News, that this will be waves of showers and thunderstorms that'll be working their way across the area. And there's going to be a lot of locations that may be dry, and you're wondering outside, you're looking outside in Montgomery, Tuskegee, Selma, Demopolis, Alexander City, and you're like, why are you on the TV right now? Well, our friends down south in Covington County is currently contending with a very severe storm. That's the area that's been kind of primed today, where we've seen several areas of rotation. And so we have one storm that's trying to feed into that volatile atmosphere we have. Temperatures really warm in the 70s, 80s. Dew points well into the 60s, and these storms can feed into that, and that's what we're currently seeing happen right now in southern portions of Covington County, and that's the reason why we have this tornado-warned storm. Let's go ahead and show you how long it goes until 4:45 here in southern Covington County. Now, it is radar indicated, so that means that we're not seeing this, or there's no visual confirmation that this is on the ground, but there's enough dynamics in place and enough visual from radar and velocity, the rotation that we can see from these storms from Doppler radar, that shows that we could be contending with the possibility of rotation touching the ground. So that's why they went ahead and issued that tornado-warned storm. So the good news is they are monitoring this storm. National Weather Service in Birmingham, they said the circulation that they were most concerned about in southern Covington County with that storm cell has weakened and broadened. We've been noticing that too over the last few scans. They will monitor this for the next few scans and keep the warning for now. But if it does continue to show signs of weakening, they will let this expire a bit early. And that's how some of these storms are going to be today. They'll have a quick intensification and rotation potential of it, trying to drop maybe a tornado on the ground, and then they'll quickly lose that circulation and lift, and then they'll continue dumping lots of heavy rain. So that's what we're currently contending with this storm cell right now. And any one of these storms could potentially rotate. It's just this one down here in Covington County has been the first one we've seen today that had enough circulation, tightening circulation with it that could produce a tornado that's in between, say, Highway 55 and Highway 137. Those are the ones that go south down toward the state of Florida. This warning is just north of our friends down in Florala and just south of Andalusia and Opp. We'll see if we can't get a Skycam up here. I know we have one down there in portions of Andalusia, so we can get a better look of this storm cell. But currently, if you live in southern Covington County, you are still under this tornado warning. So please stay in your safe spot until this either is allowed to expire or it is allowed to or they notice the storm have passed your neighborhood. So that's currently where we're at right now as we check out first alert radar. Currently tornado warning till 4:45 for southern Covington County. Everywhere else, currently there are a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but even if you're seeing intense rain right now, the main threat with these storm cells has been hail. The hail cores within these has been upwards of golf ball sized. We've had some damage earlier with some of these storms, dropping very large hail, causing damage to cars and sidings of buildings. That was really our primary threat that we've been contending with today. Heavy rain has also been an issue too. Some of those strongest cores of rain has dumped a lot of rain in a little bit of time that has caused some localized flooding within these storm cells. So looks like the National Weather Service in Mobile has decided to extend a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning with this as this continues to work its way across southern portions of Covington County. So that's good news because they're seeing what we're seeing, that the circulation within the storm center is not as tight as what it once was. So let's go a little bit into this storm again one more time for you. And then we may get to send it back to golf here fairly quickly for those who are looking for the golf game. So right now, here's the big picture. Showers and storms working their way across the southern half of Alabama. Some of us are contending with no rain, just some sunshine and warm temperatures, while others are contending with rain and storms, some on the stronger side with lots of lightning. Here's that one storm that caused us to be on the air. That was the tornado warned storm that had a bit of rotation within it. But the good news is the National Weather Service is seeing that this rotation has broadened out. We're going to still contend with lots of damaging winds within this storm. So that's why they've extended the severe thunderstorm warning. But since they've allowed this tornado warning to expire, we're going to go ahead and wrap up coverage here and go back to golf on NBC. So our TMP's in the back. Just let me know when you're ready for that. And remember, if we have another tornado warned issue, we will be back on WSFA. But for the most part, we'll continue tracking and watching it through the night.